lost my legs because of daffodils. I was under the impression I had irritable bowel. And I kept I got to get these bulbs in the ground. It's just more concerned about getting the daffodils in the bed instead of going to the doctor. I became very dehydrated, ended up in the hospital, and then I had a sepsis situation. So that's the way it went.
And tell me about still being able to garden, though, still being able to enjoy the daffodils.
Fortunately, I have the, what you nicknamed the Field Sisters.
We're the Field Sisters.
We plant bulbs, we dig bulbs, we weed in between, and the best part is when they're in bloom during this season, we pick them and ID them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
Joe and Jeannie and her other brothers I feel like they're family to me, and I just love knowing that I can help Joe live independently here.
No, I get out there, especially the lower field here is a little easier to navigate, and we go through, and I get to tour them. I mean, it's just, sometimes I run out the road and then go down, and then I never do it unless somebody's with me, because sometimes the grass is wet or something, and it doesn't move. When I first got introduced to daffodils, I thought I'm going to collect 1938, because at that time there was like 29,000 different kinds. And of course they hybridize every year, they do more.
And why that year?
That's the year of my birth. And
my
birthday is coming up this week.
And how old are you going to be?
81. I didn't collect all of 38. I still haven't. There was 364 introduced that year, or cataloged, however you want to put it. And so then I decided, well, I'll collect anything before that.
Pre-1938.
And then I got involved with trying to collect species and collect...
Do you know how many different varieties you have?
We have a database that explains everything, where it came from, and it's around 2,000. It varies up and down.
And a guesstimate on how many bulbs total?
Well, we plant back about on the average of 8 to 16, so of each cultivar. So they double every year. The expensive ones don't. That's why they're expensive.
So there's a lot of quality control involved with what we do. So, this is the only time of the year we have to actually look and see what's happening and see if anything is a mix in with it, see if it's true that what was planted is what it says it is. We're getting to see them up close and personal, but we're doing it for the purpose of quality control.
Tell me about Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn.
Spencer was honored in the 40s, and nobody ever thought about Katharine.
So in the 1940s, they came up with a daffodil, and they called it Spencer Tracy.
Correct. And so we decided Spencer... Well, Katharine and Spencer should be back together again. So I named a daffodil after Katharine Hepburn.
So they're together again in your field.
Yes.
About the feeling when they start blooming.
It's like life is starting up again, especially after this weather. It's exciting.
That was the exact word I was thinking, exciting.
Exciting.
It heralds spring coming.
And when they start blooming, it's exciting to see them, but then I know all the people are coming. People drive by slowly. We wave and encourage them to get out. I love meeting all the people and talking to them.
Oh, I'm very pleased. I'm glad that the public gets to enjoy it. There's only 2 American Daffodil Society display gardens in Pennsylvania. One is Longwood Acres out in Philadelphia area, and of course ourselves here. So people can get good feel for daffodils. We have people that come out here 2 and 3 times because they want to keep up with those seasons, just see what's what.
When people come out here, what do you hope they get out of this, seeing all this?
Oh, excitement. Well, excitement is a different thing, but it's amazing how they ooh and awe, and because most people, they don't know there's a variety of daffodils.
Almost 2,000 varieties here. People who never paid any attention to daffodils would just be unbelievably amazed. I think it's all about pleasure and joy. It truly, truly is. But I love the diversity. So one over there I was looking at stood so much taller than its leaves, and so that's a nice characteristic. I probably would look at them from the perspective of what they're going to do in the garden. Obviously, we want that to be their number one goal, but picking them and bringing them in the house is nothing better.
They just find it a whole new experience, and it doesn't matter whether they're little ones or whether they're older people. There's the same kind of awe around it.
How often are you asked what your favorite is?
All the time, and I always say it's the one in my hand.
Well, Mr. Hamm always says the one in his hand is his favorite.
Yeah.
But I tell so many people this one right here, called Fragrant Rose. I love pinks. I'm partial to them.
Yeah.
And it actually smells like a rose.
It smells like a rose. It's the only variety that I know. I mean, they all have scents. I mean, a number of them do have scents. But this one actually smells very unique compared to other daffodils.
Have you actually named your favorite?
No. Who gets to see this kind of beauty on a daily basis? And it's changing during this season. Every day is a different experience.
My whole purpose really is to see that daffodils continue on.
For more information about Joe Hamm's Daffodil Hortus, just log on to everybodygardens.com. Now, until next week, you know where I'm going to be. We'll see you then.